Hello, my name is Fitriana Pratiwi and I'm a student of Master Degree Program 11 Maret University majoring in English Education. In this occasion, I'd like to present our mini research with the title The Role of Pre-Listening Activity and Authentic Materials to Build Students' Background Knowledge in Part 4 Listening TOEIC. In this occasion, as the first speaker, I'd like to explain about the background and methodology. And later on, my friend Fitria Desi would like to explain more about the findings and conclusions. And now let's go on to the first part, that is background. Okay, why this research is actually come out is because of the problem that I face in my class. As a teacher of TOEIC preparations, I found that many students of mine are not familiar yet with some context of Part 4 listening TOEIC. TOEIC itself stands for Test of English as International Communications. This is a test that is used to measure someone's English proficiency with the context of international working environments. And because of that problems, that is many students of mine are not familiar with context that is used in TOEIC, especially in listening, I have proposing solutions that is maximizing the role of pre-listening activity and the use of authentic materials to build students' background knowledge. And why it is a pre-listening activity, as we know that we as a teacher, we can easily trap to testing listening rather than teaching listening. However, the role of pre-listening activity is very important in preparing the students to recall their background knowledge, to activate their prior knowledge before they actually listen. The existence of pre-listening activity in listening will support the success of a listening itself. And why background knowledge is an issue in this case is because when someone is not familiar with certain topics or certain situations or certain contexts, they will have no knowledge. They will have difficulties in interpreting the message that is contained in audio. However, most of my students, they are belong to low English proficiency or maybe early intermediate. And as we know, as a low proficiency students, they mostly use top-down strategy to understanding a message in listening. So that's why the role of background knowledge is very important in it. And why the use of authentic materials in this proposing solutions, because authentic materials is really interesting for students. They actually already have some materials in their textbooks, but as we know that material in textbook usually very simple and very modest, and it is considered as not interesting by some students. By using authentic materials, they can actually relate the lessons with outside world, so they can see what is the real world of, what is the real things that we will face in this global society one day whenever I have a chance to work in an international company. Okay, and the relations to 21st century learning of this research is that, as we know, Test of English as International Communications is one of the bridge for students to face the global era. Whenever they want to work in an international company, become the society, become a global society, they usually use this test. As we know that one of the part of 21st century learning is awareness of a global culture and environment. That's why this research is actually related to the case of 21st century learning in the side of global awareness. Okay, that is about the background, and now let's go on to the methodology. The methodology of this research is classroom action research. Classroom excellent research involving some steps like planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. This is a cyclical and it is usually done in 2 or 3 cycles, but due to the time limitations, this research was only done in one single cycle. And the data of this research is in the form of observations, documentations, questionnaire, and tests. And part in acting part or in pre-listening activities, some activities that we use, that we done in pre-listening involving grouping the questions, predicting the topics, listing vocabularies, playing some audios, group discussion, and also group discussions. That is about the background and methodology. Now let's go on to the next presentations. It will be presented by my friend Fitriadis.
Well, Ms. Fitri Endah Pradi had present the background and the methodology of our research entitled The Role of Pre-Listening Activity and Authentic Material to Build Students' Background Knowledge in Part 4 Listening TOEIC. And in this time, my turn is I will present about the findings and also the conclusions in this research. Well, in this research, we got the findings from the questionnaires, the documentations, the class observations, and also the test. The questionnaire was given to the students after they studied the authentic material in the class or it involved in the pre-listening activity. From the questionnaire we assume that the use of authentic materials successfully helps students to understand the context of listening. And then this activity also successfully built the students' awareness to study because they see that authentic materials is just like a real context that they can comprehend easily. And then the second finding is students strongly agree that the use of authentic materials in pre-listening activity helps students to build to build their knowledge about the context of listening itself. And then the class observation and documentation that done in the classroom. The first is while the first was while the students did discussion about the authentic materials, of course, and the second is when the student when the student do interaction with the teacher while the teacher explained the material of this authentic material. And from this observation and documentation, we got the finding that student express their interest. They say that the use of authentic material made them more interested in study listening. It can be seen from the discussion done by students. They are very interested. They are very concerned on the discussion. It is the proof that the students are interested in the listening activities. And then from the task preparations, students say that by doing the activity, by having pre-listening activity and having the authentic material as the source material to study, they said that they have more readiness or they have more preparations to face the task itself. It is this data is got from the questionnaire that they wrote before. And then those are the findings. Well, we come from the conclusions of this research. This is the last point of this presentation. The conclusion. After we done the several activities before in in classroom action research, then we come to the conclusions. The conclusion that can be drawn by us were first, pre-listening activity proven to be a good way to provide students background knowledge. The second is authentic material gives students real descriptions of the learning context. The third is authentic material encourages students to learn. And the last is the use of authentic material in pre-listening activity not only successfully activates students' background knowledge but also make the teaching learning process more interesting. That's the most important point in this activity. Well, that's all our presentations about this mini research, and again, by doing this research, we believe that the role of authentic material and in pre-listening activity successfully builds students' background knowledge in Part 4 listening TOEIC. Thank you.